Welcome to another video. I didn't feel like getting the whole microphone and everything out. This is going to be more of a serious video. And it's going to pretty much explain why I've been really not existent on social media the past few days. So, for anyone who's new, I have two cats, Mango and Mrs. Fluff. Mango is my youngest cat. Mine and my girlfriend's cat. She is 2 years old, I believe, and we got her, we've had her for a little over a year. Fluff, Mrs. Fluff, we've had her for a few years, and she's around 3 years old. And we got some pretty devastating news pretty recently. Actually, some extremely devastating news. So, basically what ended up happening was I noticed that Mango was basically throwing up a lot. She was throwing up like at least twice a day, maybe sometimes more. So, like the responsible adult that I am, I called the vet, and they said to bring her in. So we had an appointment. I think it was a Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. And on this Tuesday, we took her. They ran some tests, and they said that they discovered that she had hookworm eggs in her stomach. Obviously, this was news to us because Mango, not only is Mango a inside-only cat, she only stays in my room. And the reason for that is because of Fluff. Fluff goes into the rest of the house, Mango stays in here. There's a few other reasons, a little bit more personal reasons, due to people, like, people reasons. But for her absolute safety, she stays in here. So we were really confused as to how that was possible. And turns out, we still don't really know how it was possible. But just to be sure, we got medicine for both Mango and Fluff. Now Mango since is fine. But around that time, I noticed that whenever we would pick up Mrs. Fluff, she would meow like she was in pain. Now, I didn't know if this was like a major thing or something small, or maybe it was just her being mad, because, it could just be her being irritated that she's being picked up. Because other than that, she was acting totally normal. She was eating, she was going to the bathroom, she was doing all her normal stuff. So we were just really confused as to why she was doing that. So we scheduled an appointment to go with her. I believe it was 2 days later. So we had Mango on Tuesday. 2 days later, we took Fluff. Actually, no, you know what? I think it was on a Wednesday we took Mango. 2 days later, on a Friday, we took Mrs. Fluff. Well, we go in there on Friday, and they see her, and they basically say everything's fine. There's nothing wrong. She's not showing signs of discomfort, and she seems totally fine. So we're like, okay, that's good news. Maybe it is just temperamental. So they said bring her home, and if she's still doing it or she gets worse or something, to let them know. But I had another appointment scheduled for that upcoming Friday, so the next Friday, which would be technically tomorrow. And yeah, so that was when we were scheduled to do stuff. And turns out, when we got home Friday, everything seemed fine. Saturday morning, we get up bright and early, and Fluff is on the ground. She is shaking in pain and still making that noise whenever you go to pick her up. So she's clearly in a lot of pain. Of course, we call the vet, and the vet says, this is 10 o'clock in the morning, by the way. They close at 12. This is Saturday, so they close at 12. So they say, hey, if you can get her up here before 11, we can see her. So we fly up there, and they do an x-ray, and they come back and they tell us, hey, we're pretty certain this is cancer. Some kind of cancer. And they're obviously, this is heartbreaking and devastating news. So we're like, oh my God, how the hell? She's 3 years old. But that's what they say. So they refer us to a place about 2 hours away and say to bring her Sunday. Sunday we take her. She's admitted. Monday they give her the scans and everything that they did, the CT and all the stuff. They did all the the works. They did the works. We just brought her back home yesterday. which was, I don't even know what day it is, honestly. My head's been spinning. But basically, she has lymphoma. They're like 99.9% sure that she has lymphoma. They did send her blood off to get tested, and they said that would take a few days, but yeah. So that's pretty much what's been going on. Now, our options in terms, and I'm going to be as real as I can be, because I don't want to hold anything back in terms of personal stuff. This is, a situation, and I want to connect with you guys, and I want you to be, connecting with me, and vice versa. I want you to feel like this is a safe place. You can talk about whatever, say whatever, no judgment from anybody, from both sides. That's how it's going to be. That's how I want it to be. So, they basically said, here's your options. You can take her 6 hours, not 6, more like 4.5, 5 hours away. So make the drive 4.5, 5 hours away, and put her on chemo. But given her severity of it, which is in her stomach and her chest, basically, it might extend her life 6 months if we're lucky. Most of that time is just going to be in and out of the hospital, in and out, in and out, in and out. So, you can imagine, why the hell would I want to do that? Just had to make a pause. I've been waiting for that little bitch. Oh man, that feels good. Frying the hell out of his ass. That was a little crazy thing that just happened. But back to the seriousness. They said it's really not going to do too much. It's really for our benefit, but she's still going to be like not having a great life. She's going to be in and out of the place, and it's just going to be a lot of stuff. So for that reason, they said the only other thing they could do is they could give us some steroids, give it to her every 12 hours. So 3 p.m., 3 a.m. I'm up, or have to be up now, but I'm up, and I do that. And they said that it's going to basically, the steroids, it did shrink everything in her, so she's basically back to normal at this exact moment, acting like herself, eating like, she was already eating, she's been acting fine, but, eating like herself, acting like herself. But they said they estimate, on average, 2 months, maybe a little longer, maybe a little less, but that's basically the situation. So me and my girlfriend both agree that we do not want her to suffer at all. So we decided that we'll do the steroids, we'll keep her as comfortable as we can, spend time with her, and the second we start seeing signs that it's getting worse and the medicine's not really doing anything, we will make the heartbreaking appointment to euthanize her. Also decided to get her cremated, and to prepare for that time, we did order some paw print makers, and we actually made some of Fluff and of Mango, and we have them. And I think Samantha, which is my girlfriend, I think she wants to get Fluff's paw tattooed on her somewhere, in some way, or a tattoo just to symbolize Fluff. But yeah, that's what's been going on. That's the situation. So yeah, heartbreaking as it is, we've already been mourning and grieving, and she's still here. It's been a really rough few days, but we're gonna make the most of the time we have with her now, and when that time comes, I'm sure I will make another video and talk about it a little bit. And as soon as all that gets finished, we're gonna take Mango to make sure that she gets fully checked out, just to make sure that she doesn't have anything, because God forbid. But yeah, that's it. That's the video I wanted to make for today. I hate to be making this kind of video, but like I said, I want to be real with you guys. I don't want to hold anything back. I want this to be a fully safe space where I can talk about anything I want to. You guys can talk about anything you want to, and it'll just, go both ways. But yeah, so obviously, if you want to show support, all I ask is that you please like and simply comment. It's as simple as that. I don't need anything else. But yeah, you don't even have to like, because it's a sad video. Simply just a simple comment saying, we're keeping you in our prayers or whatever. Just anything you want to say. But yeah, but thanks for watching. Hopefully, going forward I have some more uplifting videos, but it might take a little bit of time just to get back in the groove of things. I have been messing around with a lot of AI stuff with the whole VO3 and stuff like that. That's been pretty fun, especially with like the lack of filters and all that stuff. It's been amazing to be able to play around with it and stuff. But yeah, but thanks for watching. Thanks for listening if you listened, and yeah, sorry if this is a sad video and you watched it and you feel sad. I don't want to make anyone feel sad, but yeah, but it is what it is. But thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more of my content. I'm working on getting a webcam. That's like the next thing I need for my setup, because right now I'm using my phone. I do have a camera, but my camera is not good quality, and yeah, but I'm going to try to have this video out Friday, which will be tomorrow. I'm hoping to. I do have to work. I actually got a new job, a remote job. That's been fun, but of course my first week, this bomb was dropped in my lap. So that's been wonderful, but yeah, thanks for watching.